Yo, what's up guys, it's Suraj from Tech Devoted and today I'm going to be comparing cameras on the Pixel XL and the Moto G4 Plus. Now yes, these two phones are targeted at two different audiences and it wouldn't exactly be fair to compare them, but I recently had the chance to play with the G4 Plus and I thought a comparison between the cameras on the two phones would make for an interesting video. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into the comparison. As always, first some specifications. The Pixel XL has a 12.3 megapixel Sony sensor with an aperture as wide as f/2.0 and each pixel is as big as 1.55 microns. And there is EIS for video stabilization. The G4 Plus on the other hand has a 16 megapixel sensor with an aperture as wide as f/2.0. I was not able to find any information about the pixel size and video stabilization. Okay, so in the first picture that I shot outside, what you instantly notice is that the XL has a wider angle sensor. The overall image on the XL has a bluer/cooler tone versus a warmer tone on the G4 Plus. Both phones have done a really good job at dynamic range, but trust me, I was there and the color on the G4 Plus is actually more accurate. The overall image from the XL is a bit too saturated, but apart from that, you really cannot tell the difference between the two images. In this picture of the tree, yet again colors are more true to life on the G4 Plus. Contrast on both pictures is comparable and really there's nothing that differentiates the two photos except that the XL has a wider field of view. In this picture of the truck, the Moto has a cooler tone versus a warmer tone on the XL, and yet again the XL slightly oversaturated the colors. The picture from the Moto is more accurate, but if you compare the skies on the two photos, quite clearly the XL has done a much better job. Whereas on the Moto it is totally blown out, making it barely visible. In this next picture, the XL undersaturated the colors whereas the Moto slightly oversaturated them, which is weird because usually it is the opposite. But apart from that, there is absolutely no difference. The next picture I took was for comparing the dynamic range on the two phones, and I must say both phones have done a really good job. The image from the XL is overall a bit more contrasty, but apart from that again you really cannot tell the difference. Okay, so far it's been a really close competition. The G4 Plus can shoot photos as good as the XL in well-lit conditions. Also, even though the XL has a lower megapixel camera, sharpness from it was just as good as sharpness from pictures taken by the Moto. Now let's take a look at some indoor shots. In all the shots I took indoors, images from the XL were sharper than the ones from the G4 Plus. Images from the G4 Plus seemed a bit blurry. No matter how hard I tried to keep my hand stable, the images from the G4 Plus always turn out a bit shaky. But apart from that, images from the G4 Plus were quite good for the most part, and images from both phones had very little grain in them. For selfies, in my testing period, images from the G4 Plus actually turned out slightly better than the ones from the XL. In terms of video, the XL just beats the G4 Plus every single time. Footage from it is a lot more smoother than footage from the G4 Plus. In addition, it also generally does a better job at autofocus. That said, footage from the G4 Plus is not bad at all, but it's just not up there. In terms of photo in well-lit conditions, it is as good as the XL a lot of the times. The only place where it falls behind is video. But that wraps it up for this one. If you liked what you saw, consider liking and subscribing. It's been Suraj. Thanks so much for watching. Take it easy and stay devoted.